what if I want to know, what if I'm given the vector, its magnitude and its direction, and I want to go backwards to find out what its ordered pair is? We call that the horizontal and vertical components. We can find them by using these two formulas right here, which makes sense, I think, because of what we've learned in trig so far. The horizontal component has to do with taking the cosine of an angle, and then the vertical component has to do with taking the sine of the angle. So here you see the formulas for doing that. So let's practice one equation, or let's practice one of these together. So I have down here that I have the vector w, and it has a magnitude of 25 with a direction of 41.7 degrees. I want to find both the horizontal and the vertical components of this vector. So just using the formula above, the horizontal component is a combination, or the product of the magnitude of the vector, so that would be 25, because that's the magnitude of the vector, times the cosine of the angle of the vector, 41.7. So we're just going to plug that value into the calculator. So let's clear this out. We've got 25 times the cosine of 41.7. Oops, too much moving there. And hit enter. Now I am in degree mode because that's what I was in just a moment ago, and I know that we're doing degrees here, so I can find that the horizontal component for A is 18.7, and we're going to do a similar fashion with the vertical component. So similarly, when I wanted to know what the vertical component was, I take 25, which is the magnitude of my vector, multiply it times the sine of the angle we're describing, and I find that that is 16.6. So it's consistent with what we've been practicing so far, with the y values or vertical movement being associated with sine, and the horizontal or x values being associated with cosine. So let's look at one more example. I'll work one of the problems just so that we can look at this one more time. Let's say I have this figure down here, and I want to know, let's go ahead and work, what is the horizontal and vertical components for the vector u. Okay, so we're looking at the vector u. I can see from this drawing down here that the vector u has a magnitude of 5 and a direction of 60 degrees. So I have a magnitude of 5 with a direction of 60 degrees. So in order to find both the horizontal and vertical components, I could represent it like this. So I have the vector u equal to the horizontal component, which would be 5 times the cosine of 60, and then the vertical component, which is 5 times the sine of 60. So I know that the cosine of 60 is 1/2, so I can just replace that with 1/2. I know that the sine of 60 is the square root of 3/2. So to give you, and that's in each one of those angles or each one of those values, I'm multiplying by the magnitude. So if I wanted to give you an exact answer, not a calculator answer, the exact answer would look like 5/2 for the horizontal, and then 5 square roots of 3 for the vertical component. And you can practice both finding the vector, finding the horizontal and vertical components of the vector v as well as the vector w if you'd like.